So let's dive into the release. We have some time before anything comes up on auto as it relates to track, that is, right? And I want to get these things out of the way before we get into the meat of the matter, because again, we move forward. You know what I mean? We analyze stuff and we move forward. However, yesterday, after I did my stream and of course my recordings, I went back and I took a listen to the post game show on television Jamaica, where they had Bruce speaking and of course Warren Ware, and I was surprised at the responses when it came to the men's 4 by 100 meters. And I thought to myself, we really don't know what we want. We don't know what we want, because the first sign of trouble, we immediately say, okay, let's revert back to what we always knew and stay that way. And I'm like, if you stay stagnant and stay still, there's no way you're going to go forward, right? There's no way you're going to be contending with the rest of the world. Yes, in life, you have to take risks. Yes, in life, sometimes they don't pay off and you just have to take it on the chin and move forward. They were saying that we should have gone for the safe pass, and the safe pass is exchanging in the beginning of the zone. And I said to myself, now the same exchanging at the beginning of the zone that caused all of them problems and not keeping running back and not being able to challenge countries like Japan, South Africa, and everybody else, because we're exchanging at the middle of the beginning of the zone and not being able to be as competitive as we are because we're not stretching the zone. Why are we trying to go backwards? Because we failed in this attempt. I don't understand. Let's go back to what Stephen Francis said. Jamaica has not progressed with the science of the 4 by 100 meters. That's what Stephen said. We haven't progressed with the science. Every other country has. They're ahead of us in that aspect. We are literally just starting with this whole science thing. And something I pointed out, you know what? After, realizing that we had our mishap yesterday, I said, guess what? We're probably going to experience, a few, mishaps, right? A few tough times. But when the guys eventually get it, get really practice and get rehearsed, it's going to be seamless. It's going to be sublime. And we're going to enjoy watching Jamaica's men in the 4 by 100 meters. You know what I mean? So that is something I absolutely don't agree with. I don't believe that we need to be going back to square one, right? Because that's not going to take us forward. That's not going to keep us in the medals. As a matter of fact, that is a sure way to keep us out of the medals. Yeah, it may make us qualify to the finals, right? So being safe may make us qualify to the finals, but being safe is not going to give us a medal. You know what I mean? So I'm not for bringing ourselves back to square one again and say, oh, let's go back to the safe passage because things didn't work out. And then on the other hand, they're saying on the panel that the team looked timid. So which is it? Which one you want? You want to see a passes when the team look timid, or you want them to take the risk and stretch the zone? Which is it that we want Jamaica? Because I feel that Jamaicans don't know what they want. What do we want? When you watch the men's 4 by 100 meters in London, snap, 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 go. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen Jamaica look like this in 2012. I was shook. That's how good they looked. And that was at the time Rohan Watson to Oblique Seville to Kadrian Golson to Kishane Thompson. Let's dive into what really went down between Kishane and Ryan Ford. Now, don't get me wrong, all the passes, I mean, oblique I mean, Akin to oblique was just okay. Nothing to really write home about. The oblique to Rhyme it took 10 years to happen. I don't know what was going on there, right? I haven't seen a good angle on that particular section of the race, because clearly that's not the part they keep replaying. They keep replaying the part with Shane and Raheem. So I can't really see what went down, why the pass, didn't happen smooth. But I just know that it was delayed and Raheem had to end up, looking around to get that pass. Then into the Kishane leg. Now, this is where I have a problem with Jamaicans as well. You all like to hold on to a certain narrative because it makes you all feel better. So coming out of the race yesterday, Una say Kishane run well left the button. I've heard this over so many years when it comes to other athletes. And say something I wanna don't do? Wanna don't go back, go look on the track and see what the marker there. To see if the athlete did really run well left the button. You know what I mean? Well, guess what? That's what T's for. Right. So anyway, y'all want to hold on like Kishane run well left the button. And I'm looking at this and I'm saying, Jesus Christ, here we go again. I even showed you all on the stream that at my own peril. I showed you where Kishane was literally receiving the baton versus where Andre DeGrasse was versus where whoever was on America's anchor leg. Team Jamaica didn't even take the most risk when it came to stretching that zone. We stretched it. For me personally, I'm gonna say that was absolutely perfect. Barring the miss up, that was absolutely perfect. And I'm gonna show you proof of why I'm telling you all that. You guys just love to hold on to some kind of narrative and negativity and look for athlete and try to find somebody to blame and then stick to it. So the narrative now is not called on for Kishane Thompson, but not on my watch. As a matter of fact, Kishane is another Thompson. So I don't know how it go when it comes to Thompsons over here on this channel. Tease is their number one defender. So let us dive into what went down. First image. And I made sure to circle so that you guys make no mistake as it relates to what you're looking at. So if you look on the track, you will see some blue circles, on no, well, not one blue circle, sorry, and a arrow, right? So that right there is Jamaica's marker for when Kishane is supposed to go off. You're keeping in mind that's our marker. Now, as the camera hovers over the track, it disappears, like you can't see it, but it's there. There it is right there. Now, how are we going to know exactly where this marker is? Because it's disappearing as the camera is moving, right? Well, guess what? I found something that is not moving, that is standing still, right over on the side, and I pointed an arrow to it. So keep your eyes on this particular thing that's on the side of the track. I don't know what that is. Some like a white stuff that is put down. Let's just call them sticks, right? Those are the white sticks that are put down to the side. Keep your eyes on those are the white sticks. Okay, let's move into the next screenshot because T loves to do this. I eat and sleep relays all day, every day. Remember those sticks that I told you about? There is Team Jamaica, Ryan Ford. You can barely see him because he's sandwiched between two athletes, but I have a blue arrow pointing to him. And if you look right to the, what is this, left? If you look right to the left of Ryan Ford, you will see those same sticks. That is when he hit the marker. And what do you guys see? Kishane is just moving off. So let us dead the narrative that Kishane ran left the button because nothing no go so. As a matter of fact, if you look into the same image, and I should have, screenshotted that part as well. Look at Canada gone long time. Canada gone long time. Canada gone long time. All USA out there gone long time. Kishane just moving. Kishane got his marker down perfectly. He did not run away and leave the button. Okay. Second point of contention we have here. Now, this one is really, really hard to see. I'm so sorry. I tried to get the stills as best as possible, but you can barely see that. You see where Kishane is? You see where Kishane and Ryan Ford are? That is literally the perfect place to hand over the baton. You see that outstretched arm by Kishane and the outstretched arm by Ryan Ford to hand over the baton? If that baton had passed over, and that is why he didn't get it eventually, because guess what? When you're maximizing your zone, if you don't get it on the first attempt, then chances are, unfortunately, you're going to run out of the zone, right? And unfortunately, that's what happened for Team Jamaica. But as it relates to how these guys actually navigated their leg, they did it perfectly. Perfectly. Now let's get into the actual blunder. What went wrong? Courtesy of NBC Sports, let's get into this perfect little video.
And T-Bars, for you, first time on a big stage like this, what was it like to get that stick and then...
Pause. Let's go back. Because some of y'all love to tell me all sorts of crazy things. I explained that to you yesterday. This video, it's 4 seconds. So it goes by very, very quickly. So I'm going to have to play pause kind of thing. If you look right here, you see Kishane grabbing. Kishane grabs Ryan Ford, sorry. He grabs his hand. So he places his hand in Kishane's hand and the baton is up there. Remember, Kishane cannot see. So he's reaching out his hand expecting to feel Baton. He reaches out, he does not feel Baton. Guess what he does? He immediately releases his hand. There we go. He lets go because he's like, that is not what I'm supposed to feel. Herein lies the issue now. Kishane started to feel around because he's like, okay, that's not what I was supposed to feel, but let me start feeling again, for the actual Baton. Whole time Baton is already on the ground because Rhineford let it go. So Kishane grabs his hand and Rhineford let go the button when the button wasn't even secured in Kishane's hand yet. What whole time Kishane is there letting go Ryan's hand because he's like, that's not the Baton